click on the link right now. For some reason, they're going to hear us. All right. So let's start with Eli, since you were the first ready. Tell me about MR.
Sure. MR is surprisingly looks exactly like Megan Rapinoe, and they are a famous international motorcycle racing star. They wear racing leathers, and have like an undercut dyed blonde, as we can see in the picture here. They have stats, which will come out in play, and they are really good on a motorcycle and have some tattoos that we'll figure out as we go, and a skin watch. And I think that their weapon of choice is that they have an electrified telescoping baton that, when violence is truly necessary, we can hit people with. And they're in trouble because they've been using their international fame in the racing circuit in combination with some subversive politics that the corps do not like so much, and they might have said some things on the podium that got them in a lot of trouble.
All right. Exactly what you said might be something to explore more in game, but so if the corp wanted to make you fall for what you said, your benefit, the good inside you, needs to fall because of something that your character did. Uh, so I think the corporation's MO will be to have you do something to trap you into doing something that will greatly penalize you. They
Well,
will not be aware to.
I think it also gets into there's saying something, but saying something when the world's cameras are on you is almost the same as doing something.
Hmm.
So it's like if someone on the street says it, they might not lose it, but if you say it in the high publicity space, trying to tackle that and tackle like cult.
Okay, so I'm just making this clear. If we go with this, that means that what you say publicly can be or not be interpreted as a sin.
Yeah,
So
if
this
you have enough of
so
a following, I think it is.
all right.
Because then you are a menace to society.
All right, so the morality has the ability to capture what you speak of, and so public speech is restricted in that sense. All right, that is very interesting. NTL. Yeah. One more question. Talk to us about your sweet motorcycle.
Yeah, it is very cool, and I'm going to peruse some internet blogs and find the cool picture. But it's like it's a racing motorcycle, so it's very sleek. You're the kind that you get down real low, and you do the leans where your knees are basically on the ground as you're cutting corners, and it's real cool.
All right, perfect. So let's go next. Well, Nadine, do you still need a bit more time?
No, I guess I will be fine.
All right. So Nadine, tell me about Christina Prescott.
All right. So, Christina Prescott, she looks pretty. She has dark hair. She has also surprisingly piercing eyes, like the one that kind of surprises you at first. She is surprisingly also quite regular, meaning she's always been the perfect girl who has good grades and who does sports and is good at it. So yeah, she's kind of the perfect model of what you want to be or what you want your daughter to be. but she had an accident, so she works as a stunt double for movies. And during a stunt, something went wrong, so she accidentally killed another stunt. By doing so, it brought her close to the damnation. Uh, but the thing is that even if she feels guilty about it. Of course, she doesn't feel great about it, but she is still aware that it was an accident, and she thinks that it's really unfair that for an accident she gets to maybe go to hell. So for that reason, she's kind of pissed of being here, of being in that unit, and she's kind of overall grumpy all the time because of this.
All right, I think that answered all my questions. Mhm. So you said you killed another stunt person, and next, then how close were you to that person?
Like, good colleagues, like not hanging out outside of work, but we used to work together a lot, especially during like fighting scenes. I guess we do a lot of like hand fighting and stuff like that. So
All right, perfect. Next, Reggie, tell me about Bliss, because we'll assume that's how it's pronounced.
Yeah. I actually think that's probably her given name, but nobody expects that. They just expect her to have used a fake handle. But Liz is a pusher slash kind of neuromancer hacker who has illusions as her specialty. And this has gotten her into some trouble, especially when she hacked a politician's cyber eyes during a big press conference and made them believe the crowd was about to rush him. And it started a riot. I'm not exactly sure how it was found out that she did this, but I think that's probably her reason for being one of the damned. As far as look, she looks kind of punkish. She has dreads and tan skin and cybernetics and plugs all over her body that she interfaces with her deck with. And kind of has this like 90s, a little bit of everything, mishmash style. She also has a transient tattoo, which is this very loud pattern that's always like animating and moving. And that's like a sleeve on her arm. Yeah, she feels, kind of looking at her states, I feel like she feels powerful because she's good at what she does and is kind of generally mad and not peaceful with the world around her.
All right. Tell me more about that politician you hacked.
Mm-hmm. I think they had some kind of platform they were running on, or some kind of policy that Bliss didn't agree with. Maybe restricting certain types of cyber decks, or trying to restrict some type of biohacks that allow you to get into the internet and things like that. Yeah, I think he had some policies around that, so she's pretty passionate about that. So she wanted to mess him up any way she could. Oh, I can't hear you for some reason.
because I was muted.
There you go.
So how do you feel about some kind of politician, a popular politician that advocates for the purity of the body? I mean,
Yeah, that'd
that
be
the cyberwares or implants are not ethical.
Yeah, and I think it's perfect that they advocate for that, but yet have Cyber Eyes. Maybe he has a pair that are actually like not not super noticeable, but I somehow found out that he actually does have them. So it's kind of exposing his hypocrisy there.
Nice. All right, that's pretty good. So we have two strongly political characters, and one character that is there more or less by chance. Eli, I kind of skim about. I kind of skim over it, but do you want to add something about what you were saying to the public space that get you into trouble?
I'm not entirely sure because don't have a full sense of the world yet. I think it'll kind of come out, but I'm thinking more just like raging against the system.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have to go in detail. I
oppress people.
I didn't ask before because I thought it would be cool to see it in game, but after having two politically inclined characters, I thought it would be cool to circle back. But yeah, we'll go with just said something you didn't like.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Right. So I'm going to ask you guys another question. The question is, why do you want to go through the purgatory program? I know the obvious answer can be like, I don't want to go to hell. But I'm asking if there's like another question, another motive that your character has for this, or another strong reason.
I'm sorry. What program did you say?
The purgatory program. This is the program that Dawn and Dusk take near damnation people and try to raise them.
This is the rehabilitation one?
Yes.
All right. I'll go first and just establish a whole bunch of things about it and tell me if I'm overreaching here. But I think that this is not the first time that MR has done the purgatory program. That I think it's kind of like a repeating cycle. That it's just like she knows that if she hits rock bottom, she's not going to be able to race and like everything will kind of fall away. But if she plays the balance of like getting up there and then doing the things that she cares about, that they'd like trigger back down, but she's famous enough that they're like, there's always kind of this option that's like, well, if you go do basically like some community service, you can get back to where you were. And so she's kind of like done that cycle before and has seen it happen and kind of accepts it as what she has to do in order to get back up to the top and piss everyone off again by subverting it all.
Yeah, I love it. Somebody else?
I think just to either discredit or help sabotage it in some way.
Okay, so you want to get inside to to be in the program, not being a part of it.
Yeah.
Cool.
As for Christina, I guess she just wants to get back to her normal life and not having, and she doesn't like to have dirt on her record. So she wants to go back into being this perfect sporty girl who works as a stunt double.
So you are the prime example of what the program is supposed to be for, like somebody who fell off the wagon and trying to put them back on track.
Yeah, although for me, the annoying thing is that I didn't fell off on purpose,
Yeah.
which is like the really annoying thing.
So it's really the I don't want to go to hell. Please help me.
Yeah, and I guess also that as at the opposite of MR and Bliss, um, she doesn't really care about politics. It's not that she's really like into the system, but she's neither against it. So I think it might be some kind of shock to her that like of her colleagues being so like politically involved.
Yeah, she's going to be along for a wild ride. All right. Um, let's circle back to something that I kind of needed to do maybe a bit before, but no. Now that I think of it, with all the characters going to be better. Tone. We didn't establish tone right now. How do you guys think the tone of this series should be? Uh, I'm not saying anything goofy or comedic in the characters, but do you want to go like over the top, gonzo, or more gritty and dealing with the emotional backlash of whatever is happening? How do you guys envision this?
Um, I'm not really sure. I don't know if I'm really leaning towards the full-on Gonzo. I don't think that we want to like start crying on the first session level of seriousness. So kind of striking a balance there. How do other people feel?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Maybe not too. I can't imagine these characters being too gritty of a situation, but I'm pretty flexible on that.
I don't really have anything to add. I don't know. I think everything is about balance. So
All right. So a couple of action scenes separated by meaningful meaningful conversations. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Tone. And lastly, subject matters. I didn't write in the description, but I really like to use the lines and veils as a safety tool. Everybody is familiar with.
I am. Yeah.
All right. And I saw X card. I think this is a staple of the gauntlet, but still making sure that everybody knows that it's on the table. If anything makes you uncomfortable, do an X, type X, lots of X's in the chat, wave the flag, call me home, anything. We'll work this out. All right. So I will start another column right there. I'm going to format it better later, but I've added the lines of bells common to the character keeper. If you have anything to add, just go ahead and add it. If you want to be anonymous about it, just send me a private message on the Gauntlet Hangout. I'll add it myself. I personally have a veil about sexuality between PC and NPC. I'm not comfortable role playing sex scenes. I have no problem with players doing them or anything like that. But I personally don't want to roleplay them. Just a veil, though. We're just going to fade to black if something happens.
Should I just write mine, or do I like say it as well? I might just say it as well. I might as well just say it. I mean, I would prefer not see like any violence towards like handicapped people. It's just cruel. So yeah.
And building off of Simone's sexual intimacy veil, do we want to also veil or line like sexual violence, sexual assault stuff? That's a pretty common line that people put down. Sorry, everyone's muted, so people are talking.
We're all talking our own talk. Yeah, I see that all the time. So yeah, veil or line for sexual violence.
I typed it in.
Cool.
Oh, okay, no, perfect.
Excellent.
Child abuse, animal abuse, no problem there.
Yep, those are good.
Although I have a cooking comment, which is I don't think it's really like wait. Oh no, wait, forget it. I get it. Just because like visually it's not really
Yeah, like I said, just like added a comment.
Okay.
It's not formatted or anything. I'll do a bare adjustment in between sessions.
All right.
All right. Anybody else has a question on the world, on the game, or anything?
Not really. I did put a picture of my motorcycle down below everything else.
Yeah, I saw it. It's cool.
It's real cool.
You don't feel more of us on it though.
All right.
Do we imagine the setting is kind of like a large city, or like where does most of it take place? I guess is my only question.
I already run a couple of times this setting, but it was always different. Sometimes it was in a big city, sometimes it was traveling around the world. How do you guys feel about being either stationary in a big city or moving from place to place? Which one do you prefer?
Either was fine with me. I think that the only thing about it is that I've established my character as kind of a high-profile person, so I guess we'll see how that works out with everyone.
Yeah, I'm fine with either.
I'm fine with either. The only thing is like I think it would be annoying if traveling becomes like a must, because then we will like rush ourselves as players to like move from one place to another, and it can affect the roleplay and stuff. So I think if we can do it and it's roleplay, then go with it. But like I think it would not be fun if it becomes really like a must.
All right. All right, then I'll go more on the stationary side. For me, I wanted to hear from Gaspers, but for me, the last series I just did was an on the road Monster of the Week game. So I'll be glad to have a change of pace to be in the more stationary. But if you all said that you wanted to be on the road, I've been fine with it.
Stationary does seem simpler in some ways. You can kind of build one place.
At which point are we like because we all said that we are like more or less familiar with like the cyberpunk trend, if trend is an appropriate word. So is it like, this super dark city with like everybody connected to something, or is it more like a like regular big city that we could associate with like New York or Toronto, and turns out that there are some elements of cyberpunk in it? Like, at which point do you want to be like in the cyberpunk atmosphere, or is it just like some cyberpunk thing that we like include in the universe for the city?
Good question. This is one thing I always picture when thinking about this Dawn and Dusk setting. I always saw it like cyberpunk-ish with lots of color, neon, and things like that, but during the day. Some kind of clash between this, mainly because the changing technology is about being good or being a good person. So having like not having like dark alley effect seemed more appropriate. But that's what I envision when I think about this. You guys definitely have your say about it.
I like that because it seems a little different than the cliche, like Dark City.
Yeah, I definitely
Kind of
don't feel the need to recreate Blade Runner.
All right.
How much of the retrofuturism is in this? Because I know that's like an element of this version of the game.
Yeah. Well, I haven't really thought about it. I think, yeah, I think it will still be a part of it. Let's just put as much as we want to.
Okay.
I don't think it's something we should push or pull or anything. Just go with it.
Yeah, I put like hints of it in my character, but I don't think that.
Yeah, everything
like,
from the 90s. I like it.
Yeah. It could just be that she has an affinity for it, and it's not an actual part of the world. So yeah, I'm fine with either way.
All right. Anything else? All right. Perfect. So, like I said, we're going to have a short session. So I'll start the broadcast. And oh no, one more thing I wanted to do. Usually at the end of my games, I do a star and wishes. Obviously, there's not going to be the star part right now, but I would still like to have wishes to know a little bit more where you guys what you guys want to see in the 4 sessions that we have to do.
I guess I'll start. I think kind of going off of what we've talked about a little bit, I like that all of us are not like huge like cyberpunk experts, and I think that's kind of cool because I think what we'll end up making will be a little bit different than what you normally see, or like what's happening with like Cyberpunk 2077 or anything like that. So I would just like to see like us break out of the stereotypes a little bit and do interesting stuff.
Right. So the fun of not being shackled by the genre.
Yeah. And I want to give you a star anyway because you had so many technical difficulties at the beginning and rolled with it. And I know that kind of sucks sometimes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I really hope it's not going to be a habit, even if it's, like I said, the second time happened in 2 months.
Yeah.
hardware change is coming. Right. Next person for a wish.
I can go. I mean, I want to second all the things that Raji said, but I also think that it'll be cool to like kind of leaning into the morality stuff that comes with cyberpunk. So looking at like the religion and the good, but I also think with the intersections with technology and communication, I think are pretty big here between Bliss and MR. Just like the idea of public platforms and the idea of like changing communication because it's so easy, and then kind of seeing all that play out on a quote unquote normal person, I think will be.
Yeah, I really like how you two have like handle names or short aliases kind of names, and doesn't just have a plain old name.
Yeah, well, she's a perfect girl, isn't she?
Yeah.
Right. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. The morality thing is definitely something I personally want to see happen. This kind of the whole point I made the game. So yeah, that's cool. Just FYI, if you need for the religious-ish thing, because it's not only it like Life After Death came from transcended from being religious to being a matter of fact. But I still I do like the Judeo-Christian iconography about it. I'm picturing like people in place of power in the corporation have title like angel, archangel, thrones, dominions, powers, etc., things like that. Oh, and one thing I always used in my in these in the game I've run, they have hell powered um, power station power. That's a word I do not know in English.
To say it in French, maybe I know it.
Centrale électrique.
An electric. Oh yeah, that's annoying. Wait.
What was the word?
The building that makes electricity.
Power station.
Okay, power station. All right.
Sometimes we call it a power plant too.
Power plant. Okay. Well, they have power plants that are hell powered.
Okay.
Okay.
Putting the souls of the sinners to work. Cool. And that's in your wish.
Yes. Actually, I don't know to say more that on one I've been already said. But I really look forward to like seeing the dynamics between like two characters that are really politically involved, and Christina, who just doesn't care. So, yeah, I look forward to seeing that dynamic.
Nice. All right. I think everything that's it. So
Oh, can I add one more thing?
yes, of course.
At the beginning, actually, but this is really like a clicking point. At the very beginning of the game, we I don't know, I think it was you, Raji, that said that there were like something on Twitter about cyberpunk and stuff. But just for like you, Simon, perhaps some kind of disclaimer at the beginning of the game would be like appropriate. Like, we're not claiming to play this type of like cyberpunk. So it might just like, I don't think there will be any, but it can be like some kind of like hater prevention if there's some trend on Twitter. I don't know, guys, if you think I'm making a big story about not a lot, but
Yeah, well, I don't think it's really a problem. In the description of the game, there's not the word cyberpunk is not there. All the cyberpunkishness of the game is through the Vel 2020 uh, rules, so I don't think there'll be a backlash about it.
All right.
Right. So I'm going to release you into the wilds of your lives, and I'm really really hyped for this. I really want to take time to think and make something good with this, and you've all given me so much to work with. I'm really looking forward to this. So see you next week, guys.
All right. Take care.
Awesome. Thank you.